Hello, it's Marnie Penner from Happiness for Mothers. And today I'd like to talk about a really important topic for mothers, and that's the topic of self-care. I'd like to start by saying that I hate the word self-care. I find that it has a really naggy tone to it. Basically, it's saying to mothers, in addition to caring for your children and your spouse and sometimes other relatives, care for yourself as well. So I feel like they're saying like you've got another to-do on your to-do list, and we should feel guilt if we don't get it done. I just find that the expression self-care has an extra element of psychological burden that I don't think is necessary to have. And so the expression that I use with my clients is getting our human needs met. I would say that the two sentences that I've used the most with my clients are these. You are a human being. You have human needs that must be met. To any non-mothers listening to this, it might sound kind of funny, but if you're a mother, it's profound. Because what happens is that when we become a mother in our society, we have these societal beliefs. Now, societal beliefs are invisible, but they're there, right? It's what sociology studies. As there are these societal beliefs saying, you no longer have needs. Always put your child's needs first. A good mother lives a life of self-sacrifice. Your child's needs are your needs, right? Like there's these beliefs that we acquire, and these beliefs are extremely detrimental. They often make mothers feel like they've lost themselves. A lot of mothers regret becoming a mother because of this, like this kind of disempowering of women through motherhood, saying you no longer even have human needs anymore, right? It can be that profound. And the problem is, if we don't get our needs met, it pushes us directly into the secondary emotions of motherhood, like depression, anxiety, panic, anger, rage, OCD, addictions. That's the problem, is that these are human needs that must be met. So what are our human needs? Well, I've divided them into 3 different categories. So there's physical needs, social needs, and there's also psychological/happiness needs. So there's a whole field of positive psychology that's dedicating themselves to discovering what are our happiness needs. What do we need to integrate into our lives to be truly happy, right? And so the problem is, when mothers are not getting these needs met, is they often are not happy, right? And the problem is also that because often a lot of the time we're living a normal mother life, we don't know what's wrong. Is there something wrong with me? Why can't I handle it? Why am I not happy? And the thing is, the normal mother life that most of us have in the early years of motherhood in our society almost all the time do not meet our human needs. It's as simple as that. So the question is, how can we mothers get our human needs met? Because we saw that it's by getting our human needs met that we can become really happy in motherhood. This is the secret to happiness, getting these 3 kinds of needs met. And this is exactly what I help mothers do in my Happiness for Mothers program. So here are the 3 steps to take in order to get your needs met. So step 1 is to determine what are your social needs, your physical needs, and your psychological happiness needs that aren't being met. And this is a process that we should do all the time, because if ever there's one little change in our life, then our needs tend to also change. An example is, for example, you have more group work at your new job now, then maybe your introverted needs will go up, right? Like this is a process that I do all the time. Do I have any unmet needs that I can get met? Okay. Step 2 is to brainstorm. What are the ways in which you can get these needs met in your mother life? You know, sometimes it can seem impossible, like there's no way I can get any of my needs met. But all it really takes is some really creative, innovative brainstorming, right? To implement your needs into your mother life. Step 3 is to assess what emotions, like what kinds of guilt or shame or fear may be preventing you from getting your needs met. Talking about these guilt and freeing yourself from it. I have written 9 different modules where I help mothers free themselves from various different kinds of mummy guilt. You don't have to feel any guilt at all. Because the problem is, the reason why mothers aren't getting their needs met is because whenever they try to get their needs met, they're overwhelmed by so much guilt that it has no purpose at all. Like if you go out for coffee with a friend and you're feeling so much guilt for having left your child with the babysitter or their father or whatever, then you're not actually getting your social needs met. In order to get your social needs met, you have to be present with your friend, right? Or if you decide, I am going to read more books and get my introverted flow needs met, right? But then if you try to read your book and you're always feeling guilty that you're not interacting with your child, then you're not actually getting your flow needs met because you're not actually immersed in your book, right? So this third step is really important. It's identifying what kinds of guilt and other emotions are preventing you from getting your needs met, and what can you do to free yourself from this guilt. And freeing mothers from guilt is exactly what I do in my Happiness for Mothers program. So do let me know if you'd like me to help you with any of your guilt. So these are the 3 steps. Identify what are your unmet needs. Brainstorm how can you get these needs met. And 3, free yourself from the painful, unnecessary guilt, shame, and fear and other emotions that are preventing you from truly being present in what you're doing and getting your needs met. And it's by getting these needs met that you'll be really happy in motherhood. I promise you that. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.